This week we got 6 buyers on the contract, even though it's a competitive market, and how we did it, I will share with you in a moment. Hi everybody, this is Charles K from the K Group Real Estate, and today I wanted to give you a tip on buyers that are looking to buy in this market. It's a hot market, the real estate's hot, it's a seller's market, there's not enough homes, there's about 10 buyers to every house out there. So how do you compete with all those different buyers out there? So stay tuned to watch this video and find out all the tips and tricks on how to win that house of your dream. When people submit an offer, right now the market is so hot that there's no contingencies. So as a buyer, you get really nervous. So what do you do to overcome that nervousness? Well, you have the Escalation Clause. The Escalation Addendum states that you will only pay a certain amount over the next buyer. So a lot of times when you have no contingencies, you submit an offer, usually you say I'll go $1,000 over the next highest buyer up to a ceiling. Now that ceiling, sometimes it's a lot of my clients think, well, if the house is $500,000 and we do a ceiling of $550,000, that they have to pay $550,000. Well, no, that's not the case. You only pay $1,000 higher than the next highest buyer. So now when that happens, you actually get to see the final number before you sign off on it. And you also have, if there is a community with HOA or a condominium association, then you also have 3 days to back out of the contract. There are safety nets built around as a buyer in the state of Virginia, and Maryland as well. On a townhouse, I tell my buyers to expect to go $50,000 as the escalation ceiling. If the single family home is around $700,000 to $1 million, then I tell them to go up about $100,000 in the escalation ceiling. So in general, rule of thumb will be about 10% in the escalation ceiling, and that is to just kind of get you in the ball game to say, I want to see the final number before I sign off on it. People are submitting offers before the house comes on the market. Now, well, you're gonna ask yourself, how do agents even know that there's homes that are coming on the market before they hit the market? Well, you have connections to other agents, and that is very important because I work for Samson Properties. We have 4,000 agents. We have an internal posting Facebook group and also a forum that we advertise to all the other agents to notify there's a house that's coming on the market down the road. It could be 2 months, a month, but it's on there. We know about these homes before it hits the market. As a buyer, that's very important to work with an agent with a lot of connections. And sometimes we can go under contract before even coming soon. So this week we had one house under contract before it even went on coming soon, before they even took pictures. And then another house we went under contract because we submitted an offer while it wasn't coming soon. So we submitted an offer, we saw the pictures, we saw the virtual tour. As soon as the virtual tour came on, we were like, okay, we gotta submit an offer. We only have 4 days to do it because they were about to hit the market. So I told my buyer let's submit an offer with a 48-hour deadline, let the sellers think about it for a couple of days, and go $35,000 over list price on $1 million home. Now, the second day, the agent texts me and says, hey, is your buyer still interested? The sellers would like to accept your buyer's offer. And of course, we said yes. We got under contract. We went and looked at the house right away the next day, and the house was beautiful, excellent, and it was a win-win for both buyers and the sellers. You have to show that you have a lot of cash. Now, some people don't have the luxury of showing more than 20% cash down payment, but some people do, but they don't tell the lender to have a pre-approval letter for the maximum amount of money that they can actually put down into the house. For example, if you have a 401k or retirement account or stock market or some kind of savings account, you have to consider that maybe that money could be transferred over quickly within a week. And if you had to, you can put it down on your house. So a very common one is 401k. You can borrow up to half of your 401k to use as a down payment. So when you get a pre-approval loan, ask your lender to factor that money into your down payment amount, because you want to show that you have more than 20% down payment. You want to show at least 25%, 30% if you can. Why? Because appraisals are coming shorter than sales price. So the seller needs to know that the buyer has enough money to cover appraisal gap. So even though you have 30% down, a lot of times people just don't think about putting that into the contract and also to the pre-approval letter. Now, when you go into an offer without any financing contingencies, you can say you're going to put 30% down as long as the pre-approval letter reflects that. And after you go under contract, you don't actually have to put 30% down. You could only put 20% down and change that because you're not you don't have a financing contingency. Yeah, those are the crucial tips that's helped my clients this week, and that's how we were going under contract. So please, if you have an agent, make sure that agent is following those rules as well. And if not, you can contact me or any of my teammates, and we would love to help you out. So in this market, I have buyers asking me a lot of these questions. For example, sorry, you just won't be able to buy a house in this market anymore. That's all I can say. If you have home inspection contingencies, then most likely you're not gonna beat out the other offers, because everybody is going in nowadays with no contingencies, no home inspection, no appraisal, no financing, and those are the offers that are winning out when there's at least like 3 or 4 more offers. You have a little bit of advantage if you're using cash, but not a lot. If you have cash with no contingencies, you might be maybe about $10,000 better than the next buyer, but not a significant amount. So it is okay to submit an offer on a house unseen on a newer home that have lots of photos and especially a VR tour. That's becoming very common in this market. The advantage of submitting an offer on a house sight unseen is that you don't have to compete with other multiple offers. So you do offer a little bit higher amount than what the listing amount is, rather than waiting out until going through showing homes to 30 other people and doing an open house. Some sellers don't want that. They just want one buyer that's gonna pay the price that they want and have no contingencies and be a guaranteed deal. Well, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and that way you can also turn on the notification bell so that you can stay up to date with my latest videos. And good luck everybody to your house hunting.